you may know, fields on the schedule editor can be displayed wherever you want on the screen. Plus, Workspaces can be set up and customized as well. To refresh your memory on the incredible power of Workspaces, click on the Power Tip video from the e-newsletter archive dated August 12, 2009 on the Powergold website for review. This video will focus on Powergold's industry-leading history tools and how they've taken a giant leap forward and made even better. You will see how to view historical information in different ways, allowing you to make critical programming decisions based on graphics that not only look better, but provide even more information. You'll see how to view history for a song, an artist, or property at the same time. You'll also see how to take that information and overlay weekend indicators, show, block, policy, and no repeat overlays to really study how your songs are scheduling. Let's start with one simple workspace called Default Powergold Classic. Of course, I've already called up a schedule for Wednesday, February 17th. The first thing I want to do is click on the History Grid Settings button and make a couple of changes. First of all, I want the history grid to scroll up to the current date of February 17th instead of the last day I scheduled. So I'll click the history grid settings and choose automatically go to current date hour in scheduler. And it is done so. Notice that today's schedule is highlighted in yellow. I see that the highlighted songs played are represented by a pie chart, but I want to see the quarter hours in which the song played, so I will make that change as well. Just like a clock, the black wedge represents the quarter hour in which the highlighted song played. Other options include indicating weekends, and we've highlighted them. If I scroll the history bar up, you'll see that Saturday and Sunday are kind of highlighted in blue, so you can spend more time reviewing them or ignore them altogether, depending on how important weekends are to you. Finally, in the history grid settings, I can hide blank days or days in which songs did not play. But since the song that I have highlighted plays at least once per day, I'm going to choose a song that doesn't play every day. And in my history grid settings, I'm going to tell it to hide blank days. So it's only going to show me days in which this song received play. You can see it received play on the 9th, the 13th, the 17th, the 20th, the 24th, respectively. I've done all this by using the default workspace called Powergold Classic. Now I want to call up a simple workspace I designed and saved that will show me even more history. Powergold is brought back by popular demand, drumroll please, the hotkey H. That's right, except this time H is smarter because it will toggle between your favorite two workspaces. Since most workspaces you design will usually contain a history grid, pressing H on your keyboard brings up history. Simply decide upon the two workspaces you would like to toggle between by clicking the drop-down box next to the star and choose Configure Workspace Favorites. You'll notice I have a favorite 1 and a favorite 2. My favorite 1 is what we're currently viewing, the Powergold Classic default, and my second favorite is the sample, which is one that I created. If you click the drop-down box, as you add your own, they will be available to be chosen and placed in your favorites. Once that's done, I can click OK. And again, to switch between them, I press H, and I'm now viewing my sample workspace. Powergold remembers my history grid settings that I set up earlier. Now it's time to show you even more powerful information the history grid can provide. This button shows the standard view. To the right, you see there is a time period view. Simply click Edit and choose Time Periods and highlight each time period and assign a background color to it. The foreground color is the color of the typeface, which you can change if you want. As a time saver, I pre-assigned colors to time periods and other features that allow this control. All foreground colors are black, so the background color can stand out on the grid. If you need to review your time periods, just click the TP grid. A time period is like a day part, overnights, mornings, middays, etc. Although not part of this video, there is a time period rule for each category that forces songs to play in a certain number of time periods before the same song is allowed to play in the same time period again. Once you've assigned time period background colors, click Close and refresh, and a picture tells 1,000 words. At a glance, you can see if songs are getting exposed in all different time periods throughout the day and night. The Show Grid feature is great for stations that have high profile or celebrity programming at key times. I'm going to click Edit and go to the Show Grid. The idea is not every show needs to be filled in, but songs from specific shows are remembered by the listener if they're presented by a celebrity. Therefore, the show can be defined on the grid, and then 2 new rules can be applied to provide protection for artists or songs which may have appeared in the show at an earlier time. Those rules are song same show separation and artist same show separation. As a simple example, if I click the Shows button, I can click New and create as many new shows as I want. I created one called Morning Show, and I created one called Celebrity DJ. So let's pretend that a celebrity DJ comes in. I'm arrowing down on my grid here. Let's pretend that a celebrity DJ comes in from 3 to 7 on Monday and on Friday. Well, the songs that celebrity DJ plays, your listeners are more likely to remember the next time he comes on. So you would not want the same songs that were played on Monday to play again on Friday, or you would at least like to be alerted. With the celebrity DJ highlighted from 3 to 7 on Monday and on Friday, I can add and assign as many shows as I want simply by clicking the shows, highlighting the hours that I want to assign a show, clicking shows, choosing the show name, and assigning that. But in this case, I'll leave it the way it is. I'll close out of that and I'll click on the Show tab, and now you see the show is colorized in red, the Monday, Friday. So this can be helpful to you to make sure that the same song is not playing in the same show on Monday and on Friday. The next history grid that can be defined is block programming, where the week can be broken up into different programming blocks that are somewhat isolated from each other. If I click Edit again and go to Block Programming Grid, you can see I've gone ahead and set up several different kinds of block programming. If I click on the blocks button, you can see them as I've added them. I've already assigned background colors to each of them. As I click down, you can see the different colors. And I've also gone ahead and assigned them onto the grid. And again, assigning a show onto a grid is just a matter of dragging your mouse and highlighting the hour or hours you want to assign a block program to, and then click Assign and choose the block program you want, and then click OK. In this case, I'm going to leave it alone. I have my evenings, my daytime, I even have some special weekends. I'm going to close that out, and you can see on the grid how the weekends stand out. And in those unassigned hours, all plays and all hours are visible when rules are checked. I've created several different blocks and of course given them unique colors and assigned them to the block programming grid. Now the next feature that can be assigned its own color is policies. Now policies, as you know, is a set of rules that can apply to certain times of the day. If I click Edit and choose Policies, I have two policies. One is main, one is secondary. I've already assigned background colors to them, red and fuchsia color. And if I look at my my policy grid, I have customized my policy grid to where I want my secondary policy to be in effect during these red hours and the main policy in the others. If you don't want to allow slow songs to play back to back at night, for example, but it's okay for that to happen during the day, that's a case where you would want to create a different policy that reflects that rule change and any others, and then assign it to the policy grid. Of course, in this example, I have the two policies. The assignment is consistent during the week, but if you'll notice, it's slightly different on the weekends, as in this case, I will not restrict slow songs beginning at 3 p.m. on the weekends, whereas during the week, they are restricted until 7 p.m. So I'll close off of this, and you can see the grid does reflect the time periods. Next is the no repeat grid. If I click Edit and go to no repeat, and any hour on the grid that contains an X means the exact same song is not allowed to play again during those hours. Most stations that use the no repeat grid do not want songs repeating during work hours, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I've taken it a step further and set no repeats for my weekends. But just remember that no repeat is equal to a song being day-parted, so make sure you have enough unique songs in your no repeat hours to avoid unscheduled positions. As a quick aside here, the no repeat hours were chosen after these days were scheduled. Therefore, it appears that the no repeat rule is not working, but it actually is. You've now seen the different ways to highlight items on the new song history grid. I'm going to actually click back on the standard view quickly, just at a glance. But to view additional historical information, there is the song history options. When I click that icon, I can look at song movement history. So with Puddle of Mud Psycho highlighted, if I choose song movement history, I see that this song hasn't moved. It's always remained in an A power current category so far. If I were to move it to a different category and its schedule, it would be reflected in that category movement section. The song edit history will show you when an edit was made to a highlighted song and which user made the edit. Song movement actual plays, get to that, will show you the category that the song is in, of course, how many plays it has received, the day it received that first play, the day it received its last play. It's just as the name implies. This is song movement history, actual play based. As songs get moved around, the history movement window will get filled up with actual historical plays and movement information. But it's very important to understand that when a song is moved to another folder, that song must schedule before the category history reflects the song movement. Next is category information, which is in the category history section here. If I click on category history, I'll see that the category, which of course I have highlighted, the A power currents, play 2 times per hour on these days. Category population history shows you which songs were removed and added to the category and which user performed the actions. If I double click on any one of the songs, it'll show me song movement history and of course who moved it. Now, much like category population history, the folder population history tells you the number of times a song from a folder was played. Now, since this sample database only has one folder within each category, the information is the same. Stations that have multiple folders within a single category will see different numbers based on which folder is chosen. And no packets exist in this sample database, therefore the packet history and packet population history items are grayed out. However, it would be presented in the same manner as category history. The information would just apply to packets, of course. One last item to tell you about is the Learn icon. This will help you quickly find out more about the different history grid layouts. It shows you much of what we've seen so far. Study it, print it out, and customize your history grids to your liking. If you have any questions, support is just a phone call or email away. If you have an idea for a Powergold video, let us know. Thanks for watching.